The sweet empire of Frank Mars, from polio to the chocolate world. A little child is sitting inside the house. Outside, other children are playing, going to school, but that child is too weak to walk around because polio has paused his childhood. For him, the world had become small, just the house, the kitchen, and his mother's voice. But in that very kitchen, his mother was teaching him how to make candy by hand. Nobody would have thought that this very compulsion, this very kitchen, and this very skill would later become the seed of sweetness all across the world, like Snickers, M&Ms, and Milky Way. The fear was that polio had limited his life. The question was, could that very limitation turn into the world's largest candy empire someday? That child's name was Frank C. Mars. And his story shows that business often starts not from the market, but from the quietest place in the house. Today, Mars Incorporated is not just a chocolate company. It is a vast private empire spread across confectionery, snacking, food, pet care, and animal health services. Brands like Snickers, M&Ms, Mars, Twix, Bounty, Milky Way, Skittles, Extra, Orbit, Pedigree, Whiskas, and Royal Canin are part of this very empire. Recent business estimates place Mars's annual revenue above $65 billion, and after the Kellanova acquisition, its snacking scale has become even larger. But the beginning of such a large company did not happen in a shiny boardroom. The beginning happened from a child's illness, a mother's patience, and a small lesson in candy making. Frank Mars was born in 1883 in Minnesota, America. In childhood, due to polio, he could not live an active school life like other children. His mother taught him to make candy to keep him busy at home. Hand-dipping chocolate, balancing sweetness, understanding texture, all of this started like a game. Here is the pattern interrupt. Sometimes, the thing that separates us from the world gives us an entirely different skill. Frank started trying to sell candy at a young age. But early ambition and a successful business are not the same thing. It is said that he started selling candy around the age of 19. The talent was inside, but the market was not easy yet. In the America of 1900, the candy business was crowded. Finding space among small shops, local makers, and established confectioners was extremely difficult. Frank made several attempts, but in the beginning he also met with failure. Businesses shut down, money troubles came, and confidence was tested. But the skill learned from his mother was not just a recipe. It was also resilience, because handmade candy teaches patience. In 1911, Frank C. Mars started his candy company in Tacoma, Washington. This very year is considered a major point in Mars's official founding story. The beginning in Tacoma was not big. No global factory, no billion-dollar plan, just an ambition originating from the kitchen and hope in the local market. But the first venture did not run smoothly either. Competition was strong, capital was limited, and reaching customers was not easy. This is the first hidden truth of business. A good product is necessary, but a product alone does not build a company. Distribution, timing, pricing, packaging, and consumer habits, all these together turn a small product into a big brand. Frank did not give up. He returned to Minnesota and slowly began giving a better commercial shape to his candy making. In the America of 1920, the candy bar culture was picking up speed. People wanted portable, affordable, and filling sweets. At this very time, the entry of Frank's son Forrest Mars Sr. brings a new twist to the story. Both father and son were ambitious, but their thinking was different. According to a famous story, Forrest gave a candy bar idea inspired by a malted milkshake. This very idea became Milky Way. In 1923, Milky Way was launched. It was not just a chocolate bar but a clever promise like chocolate malted milk in a candy bar. Customers liked the taste, liked the price, and the product gave Mars the breakthrough it had been waiting for years. In a short time, Milky Way became the company's growth engine. A small candy operation suddenly began turning into a serious confectionery business. Here lies the second lesson. Sometimes to make a business big, you don't need to change the whole world. You just have to offer a familiar taste in a new format. The success of Milky Way gave Mars money, confidence, and market visibility. Now Frank was not just a candy maker, he was becoming a brand builder. Then in 1930, Snickers arrived. This name is said to be connected to the favorite horse of Frank's family. Snickers combined peanuts, nougat, caramel, and chocolate into one filling bar. It was sweet as well as like a hunger solution. This is the reason Snickers started taking the place of not just candy, but a quick energy and satisfying snack. But the story of Frank Mars would remain incomplete if the restless ambition of Forrest Mars Sr. had not joined in. Differences arose between Forrest and Frank. Forrest left America and went to Europe, and there he saw a different market, different consumers and a different chocolate culture. In Europe, Forest shaped the Mars bar. This product became iconic in the UK and Europe. Father-son tension can be painful, but many times that very tension becomes the reason for expansion. Forest did not just think of products, he thought of systems. Manufacturing efficiency, branding, scale and global thinking took Mars to the next level. Then came the chapter of M&Ms, which is the most interesting twist in chocolate history. In 1930 and during World War II, chocolate melting was a real problem. Soldiers needed chocolate that would not easily spoil in hot weather. Forrest Mars developed the idea of sugar-coated chocolate pieces. In 1941, M&Ms were made for the American military. The hard candy shell of M&Ms saved the chocolate from melting in the hand. Later, this very product became extremely popular among ordinary customers as well. Meaning, a practical need of war gave birth to a peacetime snack icon. This is the unique path of innovation. M&Ms did not win by taste alone. It packed convenience, color, fun, and durability all together. Even today, the visual identity of M&Ms is so strong that just looking at small colorful candies reminds one of the brand. Mars had understood that candy is not just something to eat, it is a thing of memory and emotion. Children connect with color, adults with nostalgia, soldiers with practicality, and families with sharing moments. This very emotional understanding transformed Mars from a product factory into a brand universe. Over time, the company expanded its portfolio with brands like Twix, Bounty, Skittles, Dove, Extra Gum and Orbit. But the biggest surprising twist is that Mars's strength does not come from candy alone. Mars Petcare today is a very large pillar of the company. Brands like Pedigree, Whiskas, Royal Canin, 𝐟𝐨𝐥𝐥𝐸 and 𝐼 are part of pet owners' daily lives. In Petcare, Mars did not just sell food, but created a strong place in animals' nutrition, care and health ecosystem. This means that the company moved beyond the image of selling sweets and entered the lives of both families and pets. For pet owners, dog food or cat food is an emotional purchase. Mars built this trust over decades. This very diversification makes Mars stable. If the candy market is slow, the Petcare business supports it. If consumer habits change, the portfolio absorbs the shock. In 2025, Mars completed the Kellanova acquisition, adding names like Pringles, Cheez-It and Kellogg's international cereal brands to its snacking portfolio. This deal was among the largest deals in Mars's history, and it pushed the company further from confectionery into a broader snacking giant. The business lesson here is clear. If an old brand wants to stay big in a changing world, it has to rely not just on nostalgia, but on smart acquisitions and category expansion. There is another special thing about Mars, it is still a private, family-owned company today. Many of the world's large companies are listed on the stock market, face the pressure of quarterly results, and prove themselves every 3 months under investor questions. Mars is different. Family ownership gave it the freedom to take long-term decisions. Being private does not mean there is no pressure. But the pressure is not like the daily spotlight of the public market. For this very reason, Mars can move forward with long-term thinking on big investments, acquisitions, and sustainability goals. In the company's 5 principles culture, values like quality, responsibility, mutuality, efficiency, and freedom have been discussed. These words may sound like a corporate poster, but Mars made them its internal decision-making language. If you look at Mars, this company seems like a rare combination of secrecy and scale. Many people eat its products daily, feed their pets, but the company itself stays away from public drama. The Mars family is also counted among the richest families in the world, but the company did not rest its brand on celebrity culture. This is a model of quiet power. Product everywhere, ownership mostly silent. Today, Mars's products reach more than 180 markets, and around 1.5 lakh associates are set to work in the company. Its manufacturing and distribution network is spread across America, Europe, Asia, Australia and Latin America. But when you see such a large global presence, it is easy to forget Frank Mars's kitchen. The real story is that very one. A child, polio, mother's candy lessons, small attempts, failures, then the breakthrough of Milky Way. This story is powerful because there is no instant success in it. The company started in 1911, but Milky Way gave it the real lift in 1923. Meaning it took years for the breakthrough to come. Today's founders often want viral growth. The story of Mars says that slow learning can also build an empire. Frank Mars turned limitation into a skill. Forrest Mars turned the skill into a system. The company turned the system into a global portfolio. This very three-stage formula is the biggest insight of this story. If a skill remains personal, it stays small. If a skill becomes a system, it becomes a business. If a business becomes trust, it becomes an empire. Mars built trust along with taste. With trust, it built distribution. With distribution, it did diversification. And with diversification, the company became not just a candy seller, but a silent architect of global consumer habits. Now let's return to that little child's room. Outside, the world is moving on. Inside, his mother is teaching him to make candy. At that time, that lesson probably felt like just passing the time. But that very lesson turned into billions of dollars of value in the future. Sometimes, the room life shuts us in becomes our workshop. The biggest payoff of Frank Mars's story is this very thing. Weakness did not stop him, it gave him direction. Polio limited his childhood, but within that limit his mother awakened a skill. And 115 years later, that very skill is leaving sweetness on the world's tongue in the form of brands like Snickers, M&M's, and Mars.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.